right, Junkie Nation, what is going on? Gorgeous Georgia Goes got another superstar here on the hotline, on the video stream. It's Brandon Royval, who less than 1 year ago, all right, less than 1 year ago, they were strapping him up over there at LFA. He was talking to Pat Miletich probably about what his future would look like. I don't even know if he could have imagined what he would do in less than a year, charging through the UFC already in a contender fight against Brandon Moreno at UFC 256. What's up, Brandon Royval? How are you?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Good. Could you have imagined all that in less than a year? I mean, I know you guys like to dream and you like to keep thinking, about what your goals may be, but less than a year, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Coach Mark Montoya has this yearly goals down and like expectations and all this, and like he always says like make the year like make a wild goal, and like my wild goal like this year or in 2020 was to be top 10 in the world, and I think I was like ranked number like 50 or something right after that. And it was before the LFA fight, and I popped off that LFA fight. It boosted my rankings, and obviously I got to fight Tim Elliott afterwards. And I don't know, man. It's just been beyond lucky. It was an unrealistic goal for me.
What did the coach call it again? A crazy goal, or what goal?
Like an unrealistic goal, or like a goal like that's like almost out of reach.
So what's your out of reach, unrealistic goal for next year? I got to hear this.
Oh yeah, man. At this point, it's gonna try to get that belt. At this point, it's trying to be that.
That's not unrealistic, man. You're a badass.
Yeah, it really is. It's really not unrealistic at this point. Like it's really like right in front of my hands, and just got to capitalize on these opportunities and keep climbing, man, and keep trying to make these improvements.
I'm a fool, Brandon, and I'll tell you why. I thought all this was too soon. I bet Kai Kara-France. Not big time. No jinx or nothing like that. And I'm sure you think he's a good fighter as well, because he really is. I just thought it was a little too soon. I love the fight. I was on the edge of my seat. I thought he got you early, and then he spun around and got him back. But either way, I have such tremendous respect for all you guys. I don't mind fessing up when I lose. I don't mind fessing up when I eat crow. But I love telling you guys, hey, man, you proved me wrong. And I'm a fan going forward of all, the progress and all the that you got so much more, even more room for improvement. I mean, I can't believe how good you are both on the feet and on the ground now.
Yeah, I think people are doing like a lot of like the MMA math too, and like if you like, there's not much video or like too much on me. So when it gets to that point, you're gonna do the MMA math, and you're gonna see that I have like 0 takedowns ever in my career, and then you're gonna see I have all these submissions, and you're gonna see that Kai Kara-France has a 90% takedown defense, and you're gonna do that math, and you're gonna be like, well, he's obviously not going to get the fight to the ground. He has all of his wins by submission, and Kai Kara-France is going to allow that to the ground and has a lot of a great striking background. So I think if you do the MMA math and you don't know too much about me, I think that was an easy bet, right?
Well, I lost it, so it was easy for my bookie. But no, but you know what? Seriously, that was awesome. I just love the fight. I'm still a fan of Kai Kara-France yourself. I've been a big proponent of the flyweight division. I'm glad that it's resurged. You guys got a champion now. You guys got contenders, and slowly our top 15 and honorable mention on USA Today Sports and MMA Junkie is starting to fill up, because we had a lot of names of fighters who had put in the work for years, like Dustin Ortiz and John Moraga, and they got left out in the cold because for a while the UFC kind of froze the division. You know what I mean? And so some of these guys either had to move to another division or they got cut. Even some of them are still trying to figure out what's what, but it's now starting to kind of come together. And I just love the way you charged up the rankings.
Yeah, and like that's the cool part about being a flyweight right now, is just that it's like almost all up for grabs right now. And I get that we have a champion at this moment in time, but he hasn't really defended the belt, and I think that it could be anyone in anyone's hands right now. I think Alex Perez has a good shot at winning this, and then I think Cody Garbrandt is right in for the taking too between any of those guys. So it's just exciting to see how all this is playing out, and I'm just excited that my name is even a part of this.
I misspoke earlier. You're fighting at UFC 255 on the same card as the champ versus Alex Perez.
Yeah.
Have you told you anything as far as the whole deal where there's either an alternate or an alternate fight? In your case, it's an alternate fight. Is Brandon kind of like one and 1A when it comes to that?
Yeah, he's definitely the more deserved. Like he's done a lot, man. He's done a lot in the last year or so, or he's earned a spot, and I think he's a number 1 contender at this point in time right now. So it just makes, like I said, it makes sense that he'd get it.
Yeah, no doubt. like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, when Cody Garbrandt comes back, if he decides to stay at flyweight, I mean, that really, really helps because he brings not only skills but star power. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, a big spotlight on flyweight is needed going forward.
No, agreed. And I think that is like when Cody Garbrandt came over, people were asking how I felt about it, which is like I don't know why it even matters what I feel on it, but I think it's great for the division, man. I think it's great what he could possibly do, and exactly that is that Cody Garbrandt's like a model that fucking can fight and knock motherfuckers out, and like that brings star power with it. So it's good to have that, man.
Brandon, this fight coming up here for you, where do you feel like a win places you? And do you feel like you could jump even further with a stoppage or a knockout, some sort of statement?
Yeah, I think I don't know what a win does for me exactly, but I think if I go out there and make a statement, then I think that puts me as like a title challenge. If I go out there and have an exciting fight, man, I don't see why that they wouldn't want to just keep riding my wave, you know, and stay with me and try to give me that title shot would be great. But I get that I'd have to go out there and make a statement against Brandon Moreno. I get that I've only been in the UFC for at this point 5 months, so. I get that I need to actually do something and go out there and make a statement to earn that spot out there.
When you look at Brandon Moreno and you look at his game, where would you say you guys are similar, and where would you say you guys are different?
I think we're similar everywhere, man. I think that that's what makes this such a cool fight, and I think this is a really exciting fight for me, and exciting fight for the crowd and the flyweight division, especially just because we both bring that stand-up striking skills, and we both bring that killer mentality, and he has a good submission game, man. And I think we're all similar there, and I think that's where our similarities are. But that being said, is I think I'm sharper than him everywhere. I think my jiu-jitsu is better than him. I think my striking is more technical than him, and I think I can outstrike him. And I think I can. I think I'm better than him on the ground, but I think I can also get up from his takedown. So we'll see what happens. It's a big statement, you know.
By the way, you want to hear some irony? Before the interview, I'm like, hey, Brandon, it'd be really nice if you can put your phone on Do Not Disturb. We don't want to bother the interview. And that was my dumbass that kept beeping a second ago. So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I'm like the most unprofessional guy here. I'm confessing to you that I bet against you. I'm actually ruining the interview with my beep, so apologies for that. But I can't stop singing your praises, Brandon Royval. And I'll tell you why, man, because what you just said in those 5 months, I'm telling you, when your name now gets thrown on a fight card, and I hope you and your manager know this, that when you guys start renegotiating as your name gets bigger, I'm telling you, your name's popping right now. You know what I mean? A lot of people are excited about your fight style. You're becoming, I think you became a fan favorite. On most people, if you go, who are your fan favorites of 2020? Your name's right up there, or at least in the top 5. So hopefully you're feeling that as well from MMA fans and MMA media.
yeah, and that's what I was always stating too. Like even when I was like coming up and maybe not like making like I don't know waves or anything, but I was just like I'm an exciting fighter. Like at the very least, like if I make some dumb decisions or I lose some fights, man. But at the very end, like the fights that I have been losing are just pure like they have to make it a boring fight to beat me. You know what I'm saying? And like and then when I'm winning, it's craziness. It's pure chaos every time. It's just a little bit my style. It's a little bit of like kind of what I bring to the MMA is just a little bit unorthodox and kind of leads to a little bit of chaos. And like I said, I think that my style is a fan friendly style, and it's what I've taken from all my favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? So I can build off that and make a style of my own. And it's my favorite. I don't know. I'm just taking from all my favorite fighters, and I think it adds on to an exciting style. So I'm excited that you're saying that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of fights, and Justin Gaethje's got this whole "I get into car crashes." To me, when I see you fight, it feels like a base brawl. When the pitcher hits the batter, and all of a sudden, all these bodies are flying. And I know there's only 2 of you, but seriously, the way you guys go from standing on the ground, scrambles back to the feet. You know what I mean? A little bit of unorthodox swing and an elbow or whatever. It's beautiful. I think there's actually a beauty to that type of violence as well. Now that said, 2020 and even going back to last year, 2019 LFA, I mentioned that earlier. Do you feel like maybe after this fight you need to decompress and chill for like 6 months, or do you really like this pace and this activity?
I actually really do want to go after this fight. I'm gonna chill. I need to relax my body. That's kind of a little bit what this fight camp's been about too. Is I had a real hard fight camp with Kai Car France, and just maybe a little bit dialing back and just knowing that my skills are there, sharpening up the skills I already have, and not doing so much brute force on the body this time. Because yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling those last 5 months of just trying to grind it out and trying to make statements right here. And I'm still going to make a statement, and the skill set is there. But I think just making sure my body and my mind's right before this fight is going to be the bigger deal here.
Lastly, you're on a 4-fight win streak. You're 12-4 overall. And when I was looking, at your resume, this is actually your longest streak ever. And it's again ironic because usually the streaks come at the beginning of the career, and then as you face tougher competition, somebody hangs an L on you. But it's been different this time around. You're actually performing, on the biggest stage and against the toughest fighters. What do you think you attribute that, as well as maybe some of the early struggles in your career?
Honestly, just matchups. There's matchups right here that I think that benefit me, and I think that goes all the way up to the top 3, and that kind of benefit me well. And I think a bad matchup for me is Tim Elliott for sure, and you could see a little bit of that in that fight. Is just a guy who could kind of like put the muscle on me a little bit, and then just kind of maybe even make it a boring fight. But Tim Elliott doesn't have that boring fight style in him at all, so that kind of is why I was able to get away with what I was able to do. And yeah, I think this is kind of what's contributing to these fights in UFC is that UFC's having exciting fighters that they want excitement, and that kind of pushes the pace. And that I think anybody who's trying to kill me or take my head off is more beneficial to my fighting style because it leaves openings, and it leaves a lot of just a lot of openings and chances, man, that I can take and I can gamble when in comparison if I'm fighting some dude who doesn't really take too much risks, maybe just a good wrestler or someone that's trying to buy time last 15 minutes, then I lose my fights, man. And that's kind of where all my losses came from, except for the Ricky Palacios one, where me and him just went to war for 15 minutes. But that dude was a 145er, So I took a lot of fights out of my weight class, and then the 2 I lost were just kind of boring fights where I just got out positioned, And I feel like right now none of those styles are that right now. Right in front of me, the champion doesn't have that style. Moreno doesn't have that style, and Kai France didn't have that style. They're all trying to find a finish, and that's ingrained in them, and that's also going to make me allow openings and allow me to finish fights.
Wouldn't it be something else if in 2 years you're a champ and Casey Kenny's a champ and you guys can run that one back?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Casey Kenny's looking like a beast, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Casey Kenny, his last few fights are looking, his whole entire UFC career has been nothing but amazing, man. So I'm glad to see that he's still at 35, and maybe sooner or later he's gonna have a belt, man. They have a lot of monsters that he works with, and he's looking like he's making leaps and bounds every time he fights.
They asked him if he would drop to 125, and he said maybe at some point, but he's having success, like you said, at 35. Just like you, he's cranking out the fights, made a name for himself. And in studying for him, I came across your name, and then obviously seeing what you've been doing, I could see maybe that fight happening down the road. But that's very cool, humbling, and professional and classy for you to actually sound like you're cheering for him, because that's great when 2 guys can lock up and then still cheer for each other, I mean, look, I'm not against the bad blood stuff. Obviously, that sells too. But either way, this is refreshing, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Anytime you're talking about Casey Kenny or Casey Kenny, right? Yeah. Anytime you spend 25 minutes fighting someone, you look believe it or not, it's a bonding experience, man. And you learn a lot about the person, and you learn a lot about their will and their heart. And I know for a fact, and he even told me afterwards, he's like, I think I went for a heel hook on him, and his shit popped, and he fought through that the whole entire time and grinded through that. And that shows a lot of heart and shows a lot of who he is, And I got to know him, and I always root for that guy, man. He's awesome. And yeah, for the most, and it's weird too. This UFC career that I'm having is the guys that I always cheer for in the flyweight division I'm fighting. Brandon Moreno, I would always go for him, and Kai France, he's such a cool style, man. I go for him, and Tim Elliott. So if I can just go out there and beat up Brandon Moreno, it's pretty much I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Not the guys I root for necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm fighting all these guys that I like, and the guys that I wish the best for, and just I'm big fans of them. Is what I'm trying to say. It's I'm a fan friendly fighter, and like I said, that's what they do, man. They're out there making statements and doing great things.
That's awesome. And I can't wait for people to watch this interview and just see how charismatic you are as well, man. You really comport yourself very nice. You're a wonderful addition to the UFC, the flyweight division. There's a lot of you guys that are going to carry it for the next 5 years. So thank you so much for the time today. I hope you have a safe camp. I hope you have a great result. And yeah, a few months off, and then mid 2021 back in there, and then big fights that await you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man. And I just want to give a special thank you to my sponsors, AP Glass, Ed and Cyrus. Thank you guys. And thank MMA Junkie, man. Like, you guys don't know how cool it is to be a part of, like, being on your guys' articles and stuff. I've been a MMA Junkie fan since I got a cell phone, So thank you guys for everything.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.